Could you first of all introduce yourself and what you do?
My name is Yuliana Linia. I'm a jewelry designer. I have launched a brand recently named Ydentity. So it's my alter ego in a way.
What made you want to come into jewelry?
So I always liked 3D design. I think it combines everything, like, a drawing, like you have the idea and you find the way how to visualize it first at 2D and then in 3D. So I don't know, I was always wondering about the universe, what it's made of, about the processes and the patterns that I see around. And I think the best way to integrate yourself into this is to become a jewelry artist.
Why do you think silver jewelry has grown in popularity these days?
It's one of the most comfortable metals I have ever worked with. First of all, I like the color, I like the texture. It's mild enough, but it is firm enough, so it usually you can't really bend it. I mean, you should be very wise about the design, but in the end, if you know how to work with it, then I think it's the best texture and the best metal. And also, in terms of what I do, the way it wears off is a part of the concept. So I like the entire life circle of the metal, that, with time, the metal can change the texture, there are scratches, and it can be darker, but it's like, it's a process of life. And the design changes, and it's the same like with everything that we touch, that we wear, our bodies as well. We can see how it changes, and it makes the jewelry that you wear personal.
What is your creative process like up until sharing your pieces?
Well, everything starts with an idea, right? And usually what drives me is the patterns, the universal patterns that I see around me, like every single day when it comes to any object. It can be an animal, it can be I don't know, a flower, it can be a part of architecture design. There is something that is, you can just observe it in anything you see around yourself. And I was always fascinated by this. And with my stuff, I always try to find this common DNA that we all share. And this is actually the main theme of my collection, Rudiments. So what I usually do, I feel like, in a way, like a scientist, or sometimes like a god, thinking like, okay, what if? So when it came to rudiments, for instance, I created abstract rudiments. Like, there were so many variations of how our body could evolve. And this is a discussion on this topic. When you see those abstract rudiments that I created, it's just my interpretation of evolution.
Could you speak more about where you think jewelry trends are heading towards?
But with the variety of techniques that we actually have now, we can experiment freely. So we can mix various techniques and metals and textures. First of all, I think that nowadays jewelry became more anatomical. So we can experiment more with how we wear it, how we attach it to the body, where to wear it. So the ways you wear it, it's, you can just do whatever you want to. It's really fascinating to mix not just, like silver and gold, but also various metals. Like, for instance, I like working with titanium. You can create any kind of texture with titanium. It's a very complex technique, but still, you can anodize it. So your piece can be of any color you want to. It can be polished, like mirror polished, or it can be matte. It can be also combined with some silver jewelry details or gold-plated details. Uh, it allows you to create the piece you want. Like, you can be very free and very creative about what you want to wear and how you want to express yourself.
Comparing your last collection to your new collection, how has your process changed in that, or how has your design process differed from both?
Well, my previous collection, I think that the DNA remains the same. Usually, I start designing with my body. I research my own body. I think human bodies is something very beautiful and it's unique. And the way we move, the way we touch things, the way we attach things, we can always learn. Me as a designer, I'm constantly learning. So every time when I have an idea, I'm thinking, okay, so how to integrate this idea to make the jewelry piece the extension of your body, not just something that you put on your body, but to create in you an anatomical silhouette in a way, in your body that you have. Usually, like, when I was a student, I was really inspired by Rebecca Horn, and she worked a lot with, some accessories with the space. And I think it is really what inspires me. I'm thinking about the body and the space and the context and the silhouette of the body. So usually I start mocking up something, like I have an idea, and then I'm thinking, okay, so how to integrate it how to place it on the body. So I make mock-ups and then I place them on the body, and then I play with my body. Like I move the body, and I'm thinking how it will, how the person who wears it will feel it on the body. Like, the most of my pieces, they look quite dangerous in a way, but they are not, because it was a lot of work to make them really wearable and comfortable. Because if you look at this ring, for instance, it looks like, it's fangs. And usually it's something that we have on a DNA level. It's like a language, a visual language that we have, all of us, on our, genes level. Like we see something like this, and we think, oh wow, keep away. And then, but still, we draw attention to the piece. And we're thinking, okay, so this person, what do they want to say? So yeah, I think it's really fascinating. It's like a language.